So enough time has passed, and if you're familiar with anything that's going on the channel, I have 100% 180'd on my opinions about D&D Beyond. If you're curious what I'm talking about and why my opinions were different, stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I am here to talk to you about D&D Beyond. If you're unfamiliar with D&D Beyond, well, that's a long video that exists elsewhere to go over what exactly D&D Beyond is, and I think I actually did one. But it's essentially Dungeons & Dragons' official digital tool set for all your use for 5e. Not only is it a digital tool set that allows you to share your creations with other people, they also do a bunch of different articles and cool things that you can look into to expand your game. And the articles are actually pretty good if you haven't read them. But if you recall, a few years back, I put out a video where I basically ranted about how much I disliked D&D Beyond and how I thought it was pretty much too little, too late. And, well, you know what? Here's an excerpt from that video. I'll let it explain it for itself.
If something like this had launched at the beginning of D&D, you can guarantee that this, 5th edition rather, you can guarantee that this would have been the thing that everybody was using, because we would have had a proprietary digital tool set ready to go out the gate, and everybody would have been using this. But because that's not the case, everybody had to go find their own individual tools that they wanted to use, whether it be iPhone, Android, online on their computer, on their laptops, however they want to do it, tablet-based things, using Roll20, using all these different apps and tool sets that are out there, created by fans who are big fans of D&D, who put the time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears to make their apps and sort resources a thing. And now D&D just comes out with this proprietary one. And, if you've been using one thing for 2 years, are you really going to stop using it all of a sudden because there's a new tool out there?
So yeah, that video was from over 2 years ago at this point. And obviously you'll notice when we switch over to D&D Beyond that the layout and everything is drastically different than it was. But a lot of the things that I said in that video still hold true. A lot of people did use some sort of homebrew or other service or app for the 2 years until D&D Beyond launched, and I do still feel like if it had launched at the launch of 5e, it would have been something people would have picked up early and have not had any issue with. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about why I changed my mind on D&D Beyond. So let us jump over to D&D Beyond. So first of all, one thing that I do want to address up front that is still, in my mind, a glaring issue with D&D Beyond is that if I go out and buy a physical copy of a D&D book and I want to have that content in D&D Beyond, I then need to purchase the book again at full price in D&D Beyond. One benefit of that is more often than not, if you look around, there's even a thread on the D&D Beyond forum to find discounts, things in the range of 25 to 30% off, which is a benefit that you can often find things at a reduced price, though if you buy the books on Amazon, you'll get a discount anyway. So what do I like about D&D Beyond? Honestly, what changed my mind over anything else was the use of the D&D Beyond Twitch extension. So I don't know if I think it's a tool right here. So this is it right here, the Twitch extension. So what this does is it looks like this. And you can actually see here we have a handful of different things. But what's cool about it is, again, if you don't know about Nerd Immersion, we do stream on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evening. And when we're streaming a game, a lot of the times people want to have access to the character's information so they can see what their saving throws are or what their attacks and magic items are. So there's really two ways to do that for streamers. One is you basically come up with some sort of on-screen graphic that displays some key information about the character, and you either have a production team who can flip that up on the screen when you get into combat, or you try to do what I tried to do, which is you use an Elgato Stream Deck or some sort of touch-based key device, And when someone gets into combat, you hit the button to pull up their character's information on the screen. But a problem that I consistently ran into, and this is no one's fault but myself, is that I would forget to switch characters when someone changed in combat. So you'd have one character's thing up for most of the combat till I remembered, oh crap, I gotta switch it to the next character. So what this does is when you build a campaign in D&D Beyond and you have the characters built into it, it will you choose the campaign you want, and it'll basically put a bar on the side of the Twitch page showcasing all the characters in that campaign. You can see it in this particular one, there are 5 characters, and it has them all listed here. And if you click on the character, it'll open up a small little pane, or mouse over it, it'll open up this pane, which will give you their armor class, all their stats, their primary attacks, their attuned magic items, and any conditions and things that they're affected by. So what also is cool is that if your players use those character sheets to track their character and they update their health and like death saving throws and things, you'll see the life points and everything here, hit points, track live. So if I put myself as at 40 hit points and I took 35 damage and put myself at 5, people watching the Twitch stream will see my hit points drop. Or if I get healed and I increase my HP, they'll see that increase. So here's what it says, right? Real-time changes. Players update their hit points, add conditions, equip new items. Viewers will see the change on stream. Viewers no longer need to wait for streamer to cycle through the display of information about character, which is what I was telling you about. Viewers can mouse over the overlay and click on any character sheet, which allows you to actually open the full-blown character sheet so you can see everything. And streamers can customize how the overlay displays, including whether the bar shows on the left or right, if it displays on mouse over, choose which characters to show and hide from a given campaign, or customize which information about characters appear around their portraits. So why don't we jump over to the Nerd Immersion Twitch real quick, and I'll show you it on my Twitch page. So we'll go into my dashboard real quick. Here's my extensions, and then here is the D&D Beyond overlay. So you can see it right here, basically what we talked about. You choose a campaign. Here's the list of all the campaigns that I'm currently in, so you can see them all there. And then in the campaign that we currently have selected, you can choose to which characters and what order they appear in the campaign when people mouse over it. And then here's the overlay settings, right? It says, does it go on the left or right? Does it display both the name, character, social stuff, hide inspiration, which I just ticked off, which is fine. Do you want to say only show overlay on hover? Do you want to hide the portraits, hide conditions, hide health, etc.? So you have different options. So that's number one of the reasons why I like D&D Beyond, because it fixed a big issue that I had on the streaming side, which is very nice. The other reason that I like D&D Beyond is not for me, it's for my players. So let me go here into Evil Game. And let me click on Pat's character, Patrick. So you can see the character sheet. And I actually have another reason as well. So here's his character sheet. It's all done up in the way he has it. So this one of the biggest boons for a player for D&D Beyond is you don't have to remember to, say, update your stats. So let's say you level up and your proficiency bonus changes from a +2 to a +3. And you forget on your physical character sheet to erase that or apply it across the board. These numbers are updated automatically. So it will update everything. It also is a great way, than things that I found out that I have had issues with, if you're unfamiliar with how a certain mechanic works or how many spells known you have or spells prepared you have, it calculates that for you automatically. If you're unsure whether or not as a bard you get half proficiency bonus to something, it will apply it for you automatically. You can see this right here for the paladin. He's a paladin. He's got a +2 charisma. It applies the +2, the charisma bonus to all of his saving throws automatically. It gives you a little A here to let you know that you have advantage on being charmed and charmed and magic can't put you to sleep. Right here's your defenses. It tells you he's immune to disease. Shows you your armor class, your initiative, what languages and tools you have, all of the different numbers for your different abilities. Here's all the bonuses for your attacks. Like, if you didn't know that the dueling fighting style applies to javelin, you don't have to worry because it's automatically applied here, showing that that's there. And if you click on it, I don't know if it'll actually showcase where the numbers come from. No, it doesn't. But sometimes, like certain things, you'll be able to mouse over, right? Okay, so that's that, right? We can go to his spells, and it shows that he has 5 prepared spells. It shows which ones are automatically always prepared from being, from his domain, or sorry, his oath, and then it tells him that he has 5. It gives you the entire paladin list of first and second level spells at this point, and he has his ones that are prepared, and you check those or uncheck those. And if we uncheck Shield of Faith, you'll see it'll let us prepare other ones. We check it, it says we're back at 5. It says 27 known, and it showcases everything here. Here's your equipment. If you wanted to do encumbrance, it tracks that for you because it has a full list of what everything weighs. The only thing you'd have to do is unique items, right? For example, he has this holy symbol of storing, which he didn't attune to, which he did. Now I'm attuning to it for him. You can manage equipment, and if you wanted to say like, oh, hey, I just got a +1 longsword, right? We're going to go here, we're going to type in longsword +1. Whoops, longsword. There it is, +1. And there it is. If we add it in, it'll be added to his character sheet with the weight. It'll be listed, and the attack bonuses and damage bonuses will be automatically applied. You want to look at your features and trait? Here's your lay on hands. You can tick it up and down to keep track of it. You can check off your divine senses as you've used them. Have you used your channel divinity? You can check it right here. What is your channel divinity? Well, it tells you right here. If you click on it, guided strike and conquering presence. It lists them right there. Here's what you want to keep track of, what ability score improvements or feats you've taken. They're listed. Your racial traits also listed. Any feats, it also lets you click this and you can add additional feats that you didn't have if you want to do something homebrew. Description gives you your background feature. Again, you can add your personalities and bonds and flaws. They're listed right out here if you wanted to add them. Any kind of notes. And then for instance, he has a lion as his fine steed. Here's the lion stats, so he doesn't have to go looking for them. They're right there. Another thing that's really useful is this actions tab. I don't know how many times this has come in handy, where it's a player's turn and they want to know, do I have anything I can do as a bonus action on my turn? You click the bonus action tab and it shows you, oh, Padrig, for a bonus action, could do 2-weapon fighting if he's wielding 2 light weapons in each hand. He could cast the spells Compel, Duel, Shield of Faith, or Spiritual Weapon, and if he has a spiritual weapon active, this is the bonus to attack. What can he do as a reaction? Well, he can only do opportunity attacks. What other things can he do? He could summon Fine Steed, interact with an object. Here's these things are special abilities, right, for his different channel divinities. Extra attack is always on. Limited use abilities, what can he do as an action? When he takes an attack, what attacks can he do? So it lists it all out, and I'm not going to do it right now because there's no reason, but if he hits long rest, and then it'll basically give you, do you want to take a long rest? If you click this, it will automatically refresh everything that would recharge on a long rest. If he were to say heal up 10 hit points, you could type in 10 here, click the heal button, it heals him up, and you'd see that on that D&D Beyond overlay. Or if he was going to take 10 damage, you could do the same thing. And then again, he could go here and manage his levels and then choose to level up his character, and it would automatically apply everything, and it would tell you when you leveled up, this is what your choices are. You now have this ability. You need to choose this spell. You need to choose this thing. It's an ability score improvement or a feat, and so on. Now, if we were to say choose, I think Darian, for example, I believe she has counterspell. I think. We'll find out in a second here. So if we go to spell, or we go to actions, reaction, she has Hellish Rebuke, so it lists a reaction that she has that, whereas Padrig only has opportunity attack, it lists opportunity attack and that Hex, Misty Step, and so on. If we go here, we can see that she has a spell known that she hasn't chosen yet, which is a travesty because she's a warlock. She should choose that spell. So it says 6 of 7, and she can go ahead and add in another spell. So that's something to do, but for instance, if you're doing this on a paper sheet, she might have missed that and never known, but D&D Beyond tells you, hey, by the way, you have an extra spell known, you should add that in. It will list your modifier, your spell attack bonus, your spell save DC. Again, it's got different weapons and different options down here. Like the Pearl of Power is listed. It tells you what it can do. You can search up different magic items. Again, it's very, very handy for players. So that's one of the other reasons I love D&D Beyond, is because it makes my life as a dungeon master easier, or even as a player, right? This is my character, Temerity. If I want to know how many times I've used an item, have I cast all my spells, right? Like if you look here, I ticked off a whole bunch of spells that I used, so I'm aware of what I've used. Have I used any bardic inspiration? What exactly is my deception bonus since I have expertise in it? What resistances do I have? Oh, cold, fire, lightning, and poison, and advantage against poison saving throws. All good things to know. What equipment do I have? Here's like, again, bardic inspiration. Here's my spells and my spells known and my cantrips and things like that. It keeps track of everything for me so I don't have to. That's how I learned that bards don't actually get 22 spells known exactly. It keeps track of it. That counts magical secrets, because when I leveled up my character in D&D Beyond just to test it, it showed me that 15 was the number, but that included magical secrets. I didn't know that was a thing. On paper character sheets, I'd always done whatever their spells known were plus magical secrets. And lastly, the reason that I love D&D Beyond on top of all of that, and I've switched over to it, is for my weekly character building show. So every Wednesday night, I build characters that people suggest from pop culture in D&D Beyond. In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. In previous iterations of that show, I had a PDF character sheet up that I was typing everything out individually, and I had to try to shorthand it so it didn't make the PDF go super small on the font size, and I had to just take all that time to actually physically type things. And now, when I'm building characters in D&D Beyond, it allows me to do that almost immediately with minimal work. It makes the show quicker, faster, and more interesting for you guys, the viewers, and it makes sure that I don't miss anything because it lists everything that I get right here. So, some negatives about D&D Beyond. As stated at the beginning, if I wanted to go to the marketplace and I wanted to buy the player's handbook, let's go take a look. So there is bundles, right? You can buy everything to have everything that's out there now, have all the source books, that's not including adventure paths, or buy the adventure paths. So let's see. Let's go find the player's handbook. So if I wanted to buy the player's handbook, how much would that cost me? Let's see. I don't know if it'll actually show me because I already own it, but yeah, I think it was full price. I don't remember. We'd have to check this somewhere else to find out. Well, here, let's try this. We'll open this incognito window. See. $29.99. Okay, so it's not exactly the full price of a regular book, but it's slightly discounted. It's still $30. Here is a benefit, though. You can buy just specific things that you want. Like, if you're like, I'm never going to play a Circle of the Land Druid, but I really want to play a Circle of the Moon Druid in my campaign, for $1.99, you could buy just the Circle of the Moon. So you can pick and choose what you want to do. What backgrounds do you want to buy? Do you want to buy the access to different feats? Sub-races right here, like Dark Elf and Forest Gnome. Do you want to buy access to specific spells so you have them? You'll see there's only a small list of specific spells because the other spells are part of the free rules that everyone gets. These are the ones that don't. And then compendium content only. Purchasing this bundle unlocks the player's handbook in digital form in the game compendium with all artwork and maps, cross-linking, and tooltips. The compendium content bundle does not grant access to all the contents options in the rest of the toolset, such as searchable listings, character builder, or digital sheets. But you can see that you can go through and pick up each individual thing that you'd like to have, right? Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, if you wanted to pick that up. It also, see, this one they're not going to give you. Sometimes you could get like a preview of what's going to be in it. But an adventure path, like Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus for $29.99, is the same price as the player's handbook, which is a player resource. So let's check the monster manual. So the monster manual, you could buy individual monsters for $1.99, and that would be a lot. Same thing, like, for instance, when I started, before I started, getting everything from D&D Beyond, I bought, like, for the Dungeon Master Guide, I bought just the magic items because that's the only thing that I'm going to use from it, really, as a Dungeon Master or a player, as I want the magic items. Like, Guildmasters or Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, I'm going to buy the races, the Gith race. I'm not going to buy the magic items, but there may be sub-races, like all of the tieflings. I'm going to buy all of those, but I'm not going to buy the entire book. So that's kind of, again, there's a little bit of a kind of silver lining that you don't have to pay for everything. You can buy just what you want, but then you may find yourself going down a rabbit hole to buy more and more. The other side of things is, and a pretty decent benefit, I'd say, is we saw with this with the Essentials kit. The Dungeons & Dragons Essentials kit included a code inside it that when you purchased it, it gave you whatever physical content you got in that box as digital content in D&D Beyond. So that is maybe a way we're going to be going forward, which is something I would really appreciate it, because it's been kind of weird that Wizards of the Coast seems to have this anti-PDF policy. I don't know if that's a true thing, but pretty much every other, whether it's a D&D source book, whether it's Pathfinder or other books, they offer a physical copy that you can get, and they also offer, usually for a discounted price, a digital PDF that you can download and take anywhere you can take your PDF. You can download it to your phone, to your laptop, to your tablet, and you have it, and that's how it is. It's interesting that on the DMs Guild, they're releasing PDFs of old out-of-print books, but not for the current books, which is something a lot of people have questioned. And I guess the only reason why is that D&D Beyond is a way you can get all of that, and it is searchable with tooltips, and it has all the functionings for building a character. But I think what would really endear a lot of people would be some sort of, either they had a discount code if they show like a proof of purchase from purchasing a book, or if going forward, any physical, maybe it's only going to be box sets, but really if I purchase a physical book, I should get a code for a discount for that book in D&D Beyond, or just give me that book in D&D Beyond. Because there are people that are 100% digital, and I still like to have my physical books, but if I need to go to a convention or go to somebody else's house to DM or something like that, I can bring a tablet and have my entire library with me, whereas before I'd have to have a backpack or a duffel bag full of a ton of books. So I realize this video went a lot longer than I planned, but there's a lot to unpack. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on D&D Beyond? Did you hate it and were against it like I was? Again, my reason to be against it was because I thought 2 years into the lifespan was too late. I guess maybe there wasn't the forethought to have it, but like I said, was this a thing that launched out the gate with 5th edition? I feel like it would just be a normal thing that everybody's accepted. And I'm sure the constant promotions on Critical Role has really boosted D&D Beyond. I'm sure it has. Again, I switched all my players over to it too because it helps. And it definitely helps with the interactivity when people are watching on Twitch. But, you know, I still love to have my physical books. And not all the time, but a lot of the time when I'm at the table, I do enjoy flipping through my books to look at things on a physical printed page. But sometimes if it's the middle of combat and I need to do things quick, or I'm doing a streamed game online, it's a lot easier to just type something in D&D Beyond to pull it up real quick rather than flipping through the books to kind of delay the show. So that would be another question I have. It seems like, let me know if you guys are streamers or podcasters or people that are kind of like putting out digital content. Do you prefer D&D Beyond because of that? Or do you prefer it in general? And what are your guys' general thoughts on it overall? I actually do know a handful of folks at D&D Beyond. So I would love to take your feedback back to them. And I'm sure they'll be checking out this video. So let me know what you guys think. And if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and want to see more D&D content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys at whatever the next video is.